Welcome to Comments Podcast, the show where we discuss a variety of topics with your host, Nina. The high street retailers have been struggling for many years now. With the popularity of e-commerce, department stores suffered the brunt of online shopping. In bygone years, the traditional department store epitomized the one-stop shop where customers could purchase everything under one roof without needing to traipse around several different stores. Department stores have since been replaced with the convenience of online shopping, where the customer can browse at leisure and purchase whatever they need with a few clicks. In other words, department stores were no longer considered relevant to many shoppers. The UK has now lost 83% of its department stores within the last 5 years, and the figures are fast declining further. For many decades, a shopping trip often entailed the whole family visiting their local department store. It would offer everything for each member of the family on every floor, including the option of having lunch at the store's restaurant or coffee in their cafe. With the enforced closure of stores currently, it has signalled the final nail in the coffin for so many well-known brands, Debenhams, House of Fraser, to mention a few. Unfortunately, many retailers which have been struggling for the past decade have finally succumbed to administration. Even with new buyers, many of the high street stores, bricks and mortar standalone stores, have since been closed. Instead, the buyers who have purchased the well-known household brands have relaunched them online instead. Many of the buildings the stores occupied still remain empty. The acceleration of their closure has meant the stores remain unoccupied and are a sorry sight on the high street. It has left the stores' real estate owners in a dilemma, and councils considering how to repurpose the empty buildings. Fortunately, many of the buildings are located in prime high street locations or within shopping malls. Hence, there are several new opportunities available in the future, despite the current influx of store closures. There are many viable options, but the main challenge is sourcing the financial investment required to convert the buildings. Their development may also have to go through a few loopholes of planning permission, which can take a considerable time for any modification to be made to the buildings. Additionally, with economic uncertainty, many developers may at present strive to justify the huge investment required to convert the buildings to convince shareholders. Smaller towns really feel the impact with the closure of these department stores. With the possibility of their high street store buildings remaining empty for years, the town centres can easily resemble ghost towns. It has been argued for several years that local councils need to prioritise investment and incentives to revive the local high street. The stores may remain empty at present, but eventually, as already mentioned, many are located in historic towns, prime location sites, which developers may consider desirable to convert later on into hotels or other similar venues. It is highly unlikely we will ever see new department stores being reinstalled. They are no longer really fit for purpose, and consumer shopping patterns have changed dramatically over the last few years. Instead, radical thinking is required to repurpose these vacant buildings and their innovative reusage. Demand for local workspace hubs has grown as more employees have the option of working remotely from home. Hot desking too has become popular, and these workspace hubs have created and generated a community spirit. Once again, it is a question of just justifying a return on investment for many developers. For the canny, some developers may purchase the empty buildings ready for resale when the property market improves, with the prospect of attaining a lucrative profit upon the sale. The demise of the department store is sad, but as every business acknowledges, you have to move with the times and be responsive to consumers' changing shopping patterns. Unfortunately, the department store could not win against the competition of online shopping. We should all just cherish the few department stores left standing and continue to show our support by visiting them. Thank you for tuning into today's episode. You can subscribe to the Commons podcast via iTunes, Spotify, and other major podcast providers.